Welcome to GelCity, Australia's #1 indoor gel ball field. Now before we get out there and have some fun, we've got some very important things that we'd like to run over with you. Most important of those being safety. Let's get straight into it. Now the most important thing about safety while we're out on that field is our eyes. Our eyes are the most important things about our lives day to day. So if we lose our eyesight, that's going to impact us for the rest of our lives. So that brings me to these points here. We've got two different versions of safeties. Now you're going to see most of our field staff or any workers walking around with this style of safety glasses. Now if you do decide to purchase your own from our store, which we do sell, we've got different models available, you are allowed to wear these, but please keep in mind that these are graded for safety ratings, so you can't just rock up on the field with aviators or your favourite set of pit vipers. Unfortunately, we won't accept that. But if you did grab yourself a BYO package and you bring your own glasses, great. But if not, and you've got one of our AEG packages, we have these little bad boys for you. You'll be supplied with these down in the armoury. Very easy to put on, we just pop them over our face like that. And if we need to adjust them, we can adjust the straps at the back here to tighten them up. You'll also be run through all of these details with all of our staff down on the field right before your game. The second point on our safety briefing that I'd like to run you through is our guns. Now this here is a standard G36C. This is the type of gun that you're going to be receiving from our AEG packages. Now, there's two most important things about these guns that we need to remember when we're inside the green zone. First of all, this magazine's always out. So if you're not familiar with guns or how they work with this particular model, right underneath the trigger here, be a release kit. Push that forward, pull it out, you've got your magazine out, ready to go. Now we know this is completely safe, but the second most important thing is always to remember to keep that booger finger off the trigger. We don't want that tripping up, coming on and pulling the trigger accidentally in the green zone. Now of course we do have a no firing rule. That leads back to what I said before about eye protection. The green zone is the only area you're allowed to be while on our field while not wearing eye protection. It is a safe zone because we expect people not to be firing guns inside that zone, so please keep your eye on that. Now when it comes to filling up your magazines, there's multiple different magazine types and different ways to fill them. If you've brought your own, you're probably already well accustomed to it, but if you've bought a brand new one from the store, feel free to ask any of our staff. We're more than happy to explain it to you and help you out. But for our standard G36C models, we're going to have all of our gel bottles here, we're going to have our magazines here. And at the very top of our magazine, as you can see, there's a little fill hole. So we're just going to pour our gels in like that and half fill our magazines. Once our magazines are full, then we're going to grab our guns again, pop them into the bottom here, push up until you hear a click, and that is now ready. Now remember, magazines out of the guns inside the green zone and no firing when we're not on the field. So also out on that field, you might notice a few people wearing some of these. Now if you see anyone walk around one of these, unless you've been instructed that it's a specific game mode like VIP, generally means it's a loved one or one of our staff either taking photos or moving from point A to point B to reconcile with our other staff. Please don't fire on them if you see that. We know it can happen from time to time, but we'd like to reduce that. Now, we're going to run through a couple of rules we have on our field. We don't have a lot of rules because unlike most gel ball sessions, we have the most lax rules here. We don't have round per second limit, we don't have a feet per second limit either. That means you can bring your favourite guns and enjoy the fun as much as you want and as hard as you want. But on the contrary, we do have family friendly sessions only. So if you do rock up to one of those sessions and your blaster is considered hot by one of the refs say is final. They will chrono it and ask you to turn it down if possible. If not, we may need to move you to an alternative session so that you can enjoy your products the way that you choose to. So one of those rules on the fields is no blind firing. So we're going to run you through that right now. We're going to give you an example of what to do and what not to do. A second example of another rule is overhead shooting. Right now, we'll give you an example of that. And the third rule we need everybody else to follow above all others is overshooting and calling other people's shots. So let's show you the do's and don'ts of those rules right now.
Armando, look at this gun, man. It's so sick. It's so cool, man.
These are cool guns,
It's crazy, man.
You say we go shoot some asses on it.
And now that we've wrapped up with all the boring safety briefs and the things I know you've all struggled to listen to, because even I struggled to say it, let's get out there and have a lot of fun. Welcome to GelCity.